Gemini, hello. Amanda here. Welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. This is going to be your July shift reading. So we are looking at the shape you're shifting out of this month, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shape shift looks and feels like. So Gemini, before we get into your cards, the Golden Tarot is what we're going to use today. Before we jump into cards, the image that came to me for you this month is really interesting. It's go with me because I don't exactly remember what this is called, but it's basically, do you remember when you were a kid? Maybe some people experienced this. I certainly did. The activity of making a pot holder on that like little grid with the pegs on it that was usually about square shaped, and you took a piece of string or like that, like you could cut up old t-shirts and make a long piece of fabric and weave it along the pegboard, basically doing switchbacks along each row. So it was like one row, go to the end of the peg in the next, loop it around, end of the peg on the next, loop it around, and you're doing these switchbacks like this in order to weave a framework to then weave with another piece of string around the pegs and over and under each switchback, each piece of the basic framework to weave over and under to then create a thicker, basically a pot holder, something that you can use as part of your like practical tasks. So I'm like, okay, what, Gemini? Are you getting crafty? What's the deal? It's like there's something coming through about the basic framework requiring switchbacks. You know what I mean by switchback? Like we're going one way and then we do a complete jackknife and go the other way, complete jackknife, go the other way. It's like it requires these maybe pendulum swings is what I'm talking about. I'm not sure, but it requires these switchbacks. You know what this is making me think of? I have a feeling some of you Geminis are going to know what I'm talking about because you're savvy like that. In this deck that I normally reserve for the extended readings, the Illuminated Earth Oracle deck, there's a card that shows these switchbacks that I think is what we are talking about here. I'm like, where is it? Of course, it's going to be at the end. Hold on. It's important. Here it is. This is exactly what I'm seeing. The Meander card. Yeah. Boom. This, but I'm seeing it as the basic framework to then weave something useful, like a pot holder. I don't know, Gemini, but it's essentially the outline, the scaffolding you need to make something you're trying to make or do something you're trying to do. Quite interesting. Let's go to the cards, see how this is going to play out in July. So let's ask first, what is the shape Gemini shifting out of in July? What is the shape Gemini is shifting out of in July? The Knight of Cups. An emotional energy, moving, knights are movement in the tarot, so moving from an emotional place. Interesting. What is the shape Gemini is shifting into in July? The Queen of Coins. A more grounded place. I'm seeing someone very sure of themselves. The Queen of Coins is interested in grounded energy, practical energy. The Queen of Coins is energy that says, yeah, okay, but how? Right? Like, okay, but show me the money, like show me how this is going to happen. Show me the resources, the actual materials. Okay, you want to weave a pot holder. You're dreaming and feeling and imagining that you want to weave a pot holder. That's nice. Show me how we're actually going to do that. Like, put the materials in front of me, and especially this Queen of Coins, because I'm kind of feeling some attitude. You know what I mean? Like, there's like a little bit of attitude from this Queen of Coins of like, okay, Knight of Cups, you're a dreamer. Love that. Love that dreamer energy, but for real, how are we going to do it? Show me the money. Let's get real about it. I like that. Because the Queen of Coins likes to make things happen. You know, the Queen of Coins actually will weave the pot holder like before the Knight of Cups is the energy of a dreamer. It's more like Pisces energy, you know, like emotional, intuitive, dreamy energy, the one that has the capability of imagining forward and like feeling into where we're gonna go and what the heart wants and like all of this beautiful poetic energy. And then the Queen of Coins would be like, okay, as soon as you said you dreamed about a pot holder, I already made it, here it is. You know, like, let's make stuff happen in the concrete 3D earth realm. That's kind of the energy I'm getting. From a place of dreaming to a place of doing. The dogs agree. Okay, interesting. So let's see what that shift feels like, looks like for you, Gemini, in July. Two more, please. Okay, and one more. I love that one card totally fell off the edge. One is like teetering on the edge of my table, and then the other one just fell right onto the table. Let's see what that's all about. Gemini. I knew that was gonna like energetically kind of mean something. Look at this. So this is what your shift looks like this month, and it's nines. Both of these nines, which represent energy of stress, both of these cards, stress and worry and like feeling exhausted from all of the mental stress perhaps, looking in on the sun in reverse. By the way, the Nine of Swords is the one that totally flew off the table. The sun in reverse was teetering, and the Nine of Wands was flat on the table. So here's the message I'm getting from that. Oh, there's a long way to go. Meander. Oh my God. Sometimes like the messages start channeling through and it's almost dizzying. That's what's happening. There's a long way to go between dreaming and doing. From the place of dreaming to the place of doing is a long journey, a meandering journey, a winding road, lots of unexpected turns, lots of switchbacks, lots, you know, the journey is long. When you are trying to materialize something real and something big, maybe. Speaking of, right, the journey is long, Gemini. This Nine of Wands is an exhausted energy. It's the energy of the wounded warrior, the one that continues to plod along this road, switchback after switchback after switchback, and is just like, when is this gonna be done? You know, like, is this ever even gonna happen? Am I ever really gonna get there? That's the energy I'm feeling with this. Like, just really beat, you know, really beat. Look at this person's face, like beat, tired, headache, you know, head is all bandaged, like, woo. Sick and tired of being sick and tired of being up at night with all of these worries, with so much weighing heavily on the head. Interesting that the Nine of Wands has a bandaged head, and the Nine of Swords are mental energy. All of the fears, like head and hands, just being kept up at night. Like, how is this ever gonna happen? Like, maybe like having nightmares, like things just like haunting you. So much worry and anxiety and mental overwhelm that it's like difficult to move this forward. I'm sort of feeling like while you have lots of dreams and visions and fantasies and ideals about, and feelings and heart feels for moving forward, it's not materializing as fast on the practical realm, on the earth plane, and the physical journey of that is actually quite long and winding and confusing and meandering, and it's like not really getting there. And I think you're starting to kind of feel like, is this even going to happen? Which is why we have the Sun in reverse. The Sun upright is on the same horse, notice this, is riding the same white horse as the Knight of Cups. You know, like happiness, joy, fulfillment, moving forward, full illumination, seeing clearly how to get to the freedom you're desiring. You know, for example, how to sort of like have the breakthrough you're hoping for. But again, in reverse, it's like that's not happening. Like the breakthrough, interesting too that the Sun is at is high in the sky in this meander card. It's like that's what you're following almost. Or is it the Moon, right? Because we have the Sun in reverse. It's like you're not getting the illumination you want. And in fact, the Nine of Swords, Nine of Wands is more Moon energy. It's more like frustration with the mysterious aspects of these journeys and frustration with not being able to see the way forward clearly. Look at the attitude on the face in the Sun card. It matches the attitude of the Queen of Coins. Just like, over it, Gemini. Kind of over it. Kind of just like, the journey is long, and I think Gemini, you're either frustrated with your own energy that is like in the land of fantasy and fantastical ideas and like all of these grand, you know, poetic notions, but not, you know, you're frustrated with yourself because you're not actually backing that up in the physical plane, or you're frustrated with somebody else having these like fantastical notions but nothing to actually back it up, and you're kind of just like, you know, and it's got you in this place of exhaustion, worry, overwhelm, and probably like blockage. Because of the way the two nines are turned in on the Sun in reverse, it's like they're looking at this like, this is what we want, right? This is the end goal. The Sun is the end goal. Because look, that's the destination in the meander card. The Sun is the end goal here. But in the meantime, you know, it's like, there's a blockage. It's like the exhaustion and the mental strain of the switchbacks on this journey are just, it's like you're caving in on yourself, you know? Sun in reverse. It's like all that is caving in on you. You're ready to see something manifest physically, or else it's kind of like, wow. Gemini. It's interesting. Okay, we're going to see where this goes. I'm going to take this into an extended reading now. I'm going to use some other cards, oracle cards, clarifying cards, to dig deeper into this energy and see what is the block here. What's the holdup? You know, like what is keeping this still in the land of ideas and not so much moving forward on the physical plane? And like, is there anything you can do to speed this journey along or to make the road feel a little more linear, a little more direct? It's a question. So we're going to look into it. If you would like to join me for that extended reading, click the link in the description box below and that will take you over to Patreon. Patreon's an online community that I've created for folks who resonate with the way I read cards. If that sounds like you and you'd like to view the extended, click the link, head over to Patreon. Please read the full description when you get over there so you know how a patronage works, and then I will send you the extended reading for July. All right, my friends, if you'd like a personal reading to just skip right to the chase, cut to the chase, and how is this playing out in your specific life, unseenhandshealing.com, that's the place. Get in touch with me. All right, my friends, take care. Happy July. I'll talk to you soon. You know, lest we risk burnout by trying to keep everything at eruption energy and like keep the flame sky high, it's like now maybe the flame needs to get into coals. It's like you burn the flame for long enough, then the coals get nice and hot, and it's actually the coals that will help. You know, once the coals are hot, you can actually get cooking. You know, you ever try to cook over a campfire? Cooking over the flame is actually not the fastest way to boil water or to cook a stew. You want to cook a stew over the coals because it's the coals that are sustainably hot. And theoretically, you could keep those coals alive as long as you have air. They never have to go out. The flame will go out. It has to. It can't sustain itself unless you constantly feed it, in which case you're gonna use the woods all around you and just use up all your resources. Hello, use up all your resources, right? Burn all your wood. You're burning the coal at both ends here, burning all your wood. And it's like, pull back to find like the underlying heat that keeps the volcano active for a longer period of time.